I'm keeping these stays on because I can't be bothered. This is a look.
Wow.
Oh, this wasn't the plan. Not quite sure about my outfit. I kind of feel like a mix of Jack Dawson and Thackeray Binks. 90s teen heartthrob core. Hello. So alas, my friends, it is the last week in October. I'm not quite ready to talk about it yet. So, as a complete side note, I'm starting to take Mr. Frodo here on morning walks because I am an actual potato in the morning. And so this morning, there's an older couple that lives next door. The woman, her name is Sue. She was bending over and gardening or something. You know that feeling when you haven't talked to a human in an elevated voice in a very long time? So I walked by, shouted, "Good morning!" Except my voice cracked like a prepubescent boy, and I think I startled her a little. I also saw a parked car with a bumper sticker that said, "Hello. Kids in this bitch. Honk!" if one falls out. So this project is something I have wanted to do since I was about 9 years old, and that is to recreate Katrina's striped dress that you see for about 30 seconds at the end of Sleepy Hollow. But those 30 seconds have stayed with me my entire life. Now, as some of you know, I only recently have gotten into sewing. Last year was my first year where I really started diving into it. So needless to say, I never felt like I was up to the skill level needed to make this dress. And honestly, I still don't feel like I'm there quite yet. But my mantra is that if you don't think you're qualified to do something, do it anyways. So I am going to recreate my dream dress, and I am so scared of messing it up. This is going to be a journey, a quest, a pilgrimage, if you will. And this film is by Tim Burton. Costume designer is Colleen Atwood, who works with Burton on a lot of films, and I have always admired her. A big reason I kept putting off this dress was because if you look at the back of this dress, it's really freaking confusing, and I never felt like I was going to be able to line the stripes up where they needed to go. But my costuming friend Christine, she's amazing, go follow her. Because of her, I found out that those stripes were actually drawn on. I know how long this is going to take me. Am I allotting myself the time needed to finish this project? That's right, I certainly am not. I'm giving myself 5 days to make this project, so on this little plaque that stands beside the legendary dress, it says that the stripes were drawn on with magic marker. I'm not sure if magic marker means something different in different parts of the world, but for me, magic marker means those little Crayola ones you had in 6th grade art class. Or maybe the PA was popping open one of those bad boys that were scented and smelled like black licorice. Why is black licorice so hard to say? Black licorice. Smelled like black licorice. Thank you. My delivery of that joke was flawless. Now, Christine says she also has plans to make this dress, and she's going to use Sharpie. My initial instinct is to go fabric marker with this, but I have heard that fabric markers do indeed bleed. I think I'm going to do a little mini test of fabric marker versus Sharpie, which you will see a little bit later. There is a microscopic little green sliver next to some, if not all, of these black stripes. I'm not quite sure why this is done. I have a theory that it has to do with maybe the film stock, and that putting a little lime green strip next to the black made it pop. You could say this green stripe is almost as hard to find as diversity in Tim Burton films. For the purposes of this project, I'm going to ignore that little green stripe just because I simply do not give a fluff. Slight wardrobe change because I spilled coffee on my actual favorite shirt, literally yelled, "Oh no!" and ripped off my shirt quicker than a love interest in a mid-2000s rom-com. Crisis averted. Despite the smooth transitions, the reality is not so pretty. So let's talk about the pattern I'm going to use for this. Now, I actually did try to make this dress a couple years ago. I got a striped cotton fabric, you know, which would be perfect, but honestly, I want to try to hand draw these stripes on, so I like to make things more difficult for myself than I actually need to. I was going about it last time. I did not use a pattern because that was kind of pre-patterns for me. I didn't really understand them. I got as far as making the skirt and then I gave up. This is the pattern that I'm going to use. This was pretty much as close as I could find. This one right here is pretty darn close to what I need. She has kind of like a little jacket thing, which I think I'll probably make a false jacket and just make it attached to the whole outfit. But then also the back looks like this. I don't know if I can kind of mix these two. A lot of my day today will be cutting this all out. I kind of like these reprinted type situations. As you know, in this house we have an issue with using tissue paper pattern pieces. He was looking at you, dog. So now that I've got this pattern piece ready to go, I think it's just about time we go fabric shopping. Let's go make my wallet cry. I am now at Joann's. Yep. Tommy's here. I'm hoping it will tell me how much fabric I need. What's what? We'll go with like 8 yards. Where's my mask? It's the tagline of 2020. Let's do it. Christmas.
Christmas.
This makes me think of like my childhood as that like stuffed animal that's been very well loved kind of feel.
Look at this girl.
Lazy Town. Lazy
She does. Wait, she's holding a machete.
Lazy Town just got real. Look at this chunky boy.
Do you have more in the back?
I didn't think they made him this big. That's what she said. Welcome back. Materials. Some say that if you approach Joann's at dusk, you can hear the distant wails of crafters' wallets. I ended up getting a satin, a little shiny, which is not what I was looking for, but options were limited. The taffeta they did have, they definitely did not have as many yards as I wanted. We're gonna make do. I think her dress is an off-white, but I'm just gonna use white fabric. My dress is not gonna look 100% identical to hers anyways. 8 yards of this baby. In addition to that, I got so many fabric markers. We still have to do our little test to see if I completely wasted my money or not on these. Came out to like 112 or something, but with grand old coupons, it came out to around 82 or 83. Kind of scammy because honestly, here's the tea. With companies like Joann's and Michael's, they expect you to use your coupons. I feel like they price their things accordingly and just jack up the prices of everything. If you don't use the coupon, then they're just gonna rob you of your money. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Corporate America, man. Okay. As far as materials that I already had a couple years ago, buy all the trim that I think I was gonna need. So, wow, that was a lot of talking. So now that I've probably rambled on a bit too much about fabrics and such, I think it's time for my least favorite part in projects, cutting out pattern pieces. Am I missing something here? I feel like I'm missing something. This pattern seems a bit too small to make an entire dress out of. I think it's time to consult the costumers. Oh man, that makes me feel so much better. I was like, how the frig am I gonna do that? Okay, after speaking to my beloved Abby, I am feeling much better about this project. She taught me that Katrina is not indeed wearing a jacket, and that is just an optical illusion. I think I'm just going to go with this back. I'm not here for 100% accuracy. Surprise, surprise. I think it is time to start cutting out some of these pieces. Petticoat first, which is the bottom skirt here. A bunch of big rectangles. Let's get to work. Stripey test. The results are in. Just as a lot of people predicted, the fabric marker bled as much as Ichabod Crane hacking into the Tree of Death. What's that for a movie reference? And then the Sharpie, no bleeding whatsoever. I did indeed waste a bunch of money, and now I need to go buy a bunch of Sharpies. Good morning. Change of plans. So basically, I am going to switch fabrics. Now, last night I cut out all the pieces for the petticoat and for the skirt. And then today I was just gonna sit down, draw on the stripes for those, which I expected would take me quite a while. I thought, you know, maybe it'll be therapeutic and maybe I'll enjoy it. And I got my super aesthetic workspace all laid out. You can't just try to be aesthetic, it just comes naturally to you. I had my big ol' Sharpies that I went and got yesterday and I was ready to go. I sat down and then quickly realized that this was going to take me 87 years. I don't know that I could even do a good job. This is super slippery. My plan was to weigh it down and then just use these as guidelines to draw the stripes. Don't know that it would be weighed down enough for me to make uniform stripes. One stripe. Not something that I can do in 4 days. And so that leads me to my point. I told you a couple years ago I did try to make this dress. I bought stripy fabric, cotton. It's nothing bougie. I went in my basement and dug up that fabric, very wrinkly from being literally shoved in my fabric cubby. We're gonna go with this baby. I've been thrown for a loop, but I also feel like I probably gained back 4 years of my life, so when I did make this last time, I did attempt to make that petticoat. So it's right here. I'll show you what it looks like. Obviously, I have to iron it. I think it's 3 panels. I did chat a bit with Abby again this morning. She let me know that for a petticoat, 3 panels is a bit too large. So I think I'm probably gonna take 1 panel off. I need to recut out the top skirt. And I would say it's a pain in the butt, but like I said, I'm gonna be saving myself a whole heck ton of time. So yes, obviously I have quite a lot of work to do today. Well, that's my update. I don't know why I was so resolved to draw on the stripes. I think maybe I thought it was going to be a little bit more impressive, but you know.
I don't care what they may think of me.
Do you ever just take a look back at your old projects and suddenly you become Tom DeLonge in the What's My Age Again music video? Frick did I cut this with? A hammer and chisel? Did I gnaw on it like a hamster? Next, I'm gonna start putting this petticoat together, make a waistband type thing. I have this cotton twill tape, and so I've marked off half of my waist measurement. Pleat the fabric in between these marks. So there's gonna be the front and the back slits between those 2 sections, and then you tie it. I am going to add the ruffles to the bottom, and to do that I went downstairs and scrounged out this skirt ruffle pattern piece from this one. This is telling me to cut out 12. If you look at Katrina's dress, there's only 2 layers of ruffles, but it's only right in the front of the dress, and then the rest doesn't have ruffles on the bottom. My thought process is that maybe I only need to do half of that, stitch these all together, and then start gathering it. Well, shit. I did not expect today just to be about the ruffles, but it'd be like that sometimes. So here she is so far. Has 2 layers of ruffle here. I did my best to kind of match these up. Tomorrow we can work on the outer skirt, and I should probably start working on the bodice as well, just because that's what the outer skirt is going to attach to, so that's kind of important. Whole lot of work to do. I think we can do it. Are you you ever just in the middle of trying to do something and then your body is like, no. See, what's gonna happen is you are going to sneeze 7 times, and then by the end of it, your eyes will be watery, your nose will be red. It'll look like you just watched the ending of Homeward Bound. It is now day 3 already on this project, which is wild, and I feel like I don't have that much to show for it because, again, those ruffles took me absolutely forever. Today, we are going to get a decent amount of progress done. First thing I'm going to do is cut out that skirt. After that is all cut out, start making that inner lining piece just to make sure it fits. This past weekend, me and Nick had a small get-together in our backyard where we strung up a white bed sheet and watched movies on it. So I will be using that. Waist note 1. Yoink. I'm nervous. I have like this weird butterfly feeling in my gut because I really don't want to mess this up. Okay. The best thing we can do is just get started and deal with problems as they arise. Let's get started. Not too bad. I think it fits pretty well. I think it'll fit even better when I actually sew this and it's not just pins because it's obviously a little wonky right now. Alright, I'm keeping these stays on because I can't be bothered. This is a look.
Wow.
Take that apart now that I know that it fits pretty well. Attach the outer pieces to the lining and then sew it all together. Inside will probably be a little messy, but it's fine. No one will see it. It will be our little secret. This is the part I was kind of scared about and the initial reason why I was going to draw on the stripes in the first place. Where we're supposed to believe it's a little jacket, they're going this way. Stomacher, it's going straight down. I'm a very visual person, so I needed to draw these stripes. Line my drawn up stripes with the actual fabric stripes. Now this cut out of a different piece of fabric and then maybe just attach them. There's going to be trim right here, so I'm not too worried about how messy it's going to look. For the back, I think I'm just going to try to follow this grain line. That's the plan for right now. Let's do this.
I'll have you all alone, and you'll never walk home in a sweet by and by.
Good morning. I am back at the fabric store, unfortunately, because apparently a couple years ago I did not grab the black trim that I need. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday. Don't come for me.
A few moments later.
Ow. The lady who cut out my trim said she liked my costume. Mind you, I've got like fake blood all over me because I did an Ichabod look last night. What's your costume? I'm a homicidal maniac.
They
You
look just like everyone else.
I ended up getting this. Couldn't find any good black ruffle trim. It was like 20 bucks for just this amount. Come on, trim. Why are you so expensive? I keep looking over at this bag. It looks like a dessert bag you'd get from a cafe or something. And, you know, I just keep getting excited that maybe I have some treats in there. And then I remember it's just trim. It's just trim. Back home to my literal cave. Back to business. Ugh. little lady. We got a pretty good amount done yesterday. I have the kind of skeleton of the bodice all set. Basically what I need to do, hem this and like the whole lower edge so that I can attach it to the skirt. I'm going to top stitch the bodice to the skirt. I just figured that might look a little bit nicer than trying to do right sides together. It would allow for this back piece to still remain out. You know what I'm saying? And then I do have the sleeves ready to be sewn, but I figured I would put the trim on first and then fold them over like little tacos or burritos, I suppose. I think a lot of today will be doing the trim. Progress, my friends. Progress.
Excuse me. I kind of need the thing that you're laying on. Is that okay? I'm just gonna...
Later that same evening.
Ew, kind of looks like the monster from Pan's Labyrinth, with like the extra skin. No, I'm sorry, it's not playtime. It's literally snowing outside. Cool, cool, cool. Love it, love it. Yeah, too soon, Mother Nature. Too soon. It is now day 5, which is a very rare occurrence for my projects. Actually giving myself enough time to do something? So today is going to be mostly finishing touches. I did do a lot of work while me and Nick watched TV, as you saw. This freaking trim took me absolutely forever, which I was not expecting. It's snowing so much. Why? And now what I have to do is do the hooks and eyes along the stomacher section, and then I need to attach the sleeves because they're just pinned. And then I need to hem the skirt and the petticoat. And then, my friends, I believe we are pretty much done with this baby. So the back obviously is not as compelling as Colleen Atwood's work, but I think it's fine for now. If I really wanted to, I think I could probably fake it and make like a fake pleat and just make it go down and attach to the skirt. But for now, I am totally fine with this back. That is about it. She lost an arm. Sleeves is something I struggle with a little bit. I don't know, it just always kind of fits weird. So I'm gonna make sure with this one that it hits properly and I'm comfortable moving my arms up and down, you know, because nothing says Katrina like. All right, so that's the plan. Finishing touches, and then tomorrow we will do the reveal. Well, Earth, I gotta admit, this is my first white Halloween. If anything, you keep it interesting. All right, transformation time. I'm a little nervous about this one. She's got a circle face. First things first, we need to pull up an image of this beautiful woman. I like to find a more frontal picture of them just because it helps me figure out their bone structure, the shape of their nose and such. We're going to start contouring right away. A more gray based shadow. This one. Start trying to copy her nose shape. So to help sell that my eyes are bigger than they are, I'm going to kind of copy that under eye socket that she has, a darker brown for that. It's going to look a little theatrical, but eyebrows are basically non-existent, but I'm still gonna draw a little bit. Lightly pepper these babies with some concealer. Sharpen up my face shape a little by faking this jaw. I'm gonna go in with concealer and just highlight some of her lighter areas. Little bit of blush. Yes, I look like a Lady Gaga stage costume. Wonderful. All right, I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. Time to get dressed and film the review. Ta-da! It is complete. My absolute dream dress that I have been wanting to make since I was a wee little bean. Honestly, I never want to take this off. Catch me in the grocery store. How about it? Like I said, this project just means so much to me that it's finally done. I think I did a pretty good job. For this being only my third or fourth historical gown, I am pretty darn happy with it, and I think that even since the last time I did one, I've definitely improved a bit. It's actually super freaking comfortable, which I was not expecting, because pretty much every time I make a costume, it's either super itchy, the shoulders fit weird, or something fits weird that I'm constantly adjusting. I was expecting something to be, you know, constantly tugging at this and pulling at that, but everything pretty much stayed put. The only thing that I have to keep an eye on when I'm wearing this is that the petticoat kind of likes to slide a little bit, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I had to keep making sure that this was nice and flat. Last night, I did try it all on. There was a little bit of bulging right here. So what I did was I added just another hook and eye. These hooks and eyes, I just feel like these ones are a little bit more sturdy. I think for 5 days, this ain't too shabby. We hit a lot of row bumps along the way, changing my entire plan for fabric. I think this is a lot better than I would have been able to do with drawing on the stripes. But that being said, make sure you keep an eye out on Christine's social media pages because she is in the process of making hers, and I am so freaking excited to see that. A big thank you to Abby for being my metaphorical Mr. Miyagi during this whole process. I was constantly shooting her texts being like, help. That is it. I am taking next week off. Your girl needs some hibernation and to catch up on everything that I've been putting off the entire month of October. I love you whether you're new or old to this channel. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, feel free to subscribe. I upload every Friday, except today because spooky business. And we have fun here. And I will see you in my next video. Bye! Oh, you're on my skirt. Oh, okay. That smelled like black licorice. Dinky. Oh, God.
stinky.
Oh, I'm so. Can't handle that tough love. That's not my fault.
Ain't that just the way?
Why is it so bright? God dang it. Oh, dang it.
It's like stuck. Stuck? Stuck? There's a
Cruising.
dog in there.
Is a dog in there?
Yeah, in the back. It's like a golden retriever.
Let's go take him. I'm gonna cook you, good boy. I feel like if I were to look at video of myself in a month, I'd be so stressed out. Why is she talking so fast? What is wrong with her?
Why is she sitting so far forward in the car?
I don't care.
Why is my house an actual cave? Nobody asked for this. What the hell?
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Lots of fun. We'll go up into the sweetest fire blue and on ascending we will figure out pursuit, but on returning to old terra firma we will be as one.